Valentine's Day is rarely enjoyable for me. When you're locked in a vault to serve a sentence of solitary confinement, it's difficult just to meet people, let alone form lasting relationships. And having to see all of the happy couples out there from the cold isolation of these dark chambers only makes the fury burn that much hotter. Still, constantly dwelling on negativity is no way to live, even for those of us who are not technically alive. So rather than celebrate the holiday in my usual manner this year, I decided to take a more positive approach instead. To that end, I found a pleasant romantic film in the archives to show that there's always hope when looking for love, even for a walking cadaver like myself. Warm Bodies. The story begins after the end, specifically after the world has fallen to a zombie apocalypse. With civilization largely in ruins, there are three parties at play: the survivors of humanity barely holding on under martial law, zombies shambling around in a hollow imitation of life, and the bonies, skeletal remnants of zombies that mindlessly hunt anything with a pulse. One of the zombies, known only as R, holds a stronger sense of identity than his kin, though he's content to plod around with the rest of them. But in an otherwise routine encounter with human foragers, he gets the shock of his life? Unlife? When he meets a spirited young woman named Julie. I can't say I blame him. I myself can appreciate a lady who knows her way around a firearm. Desperate to keep Julie safe, R's newfound feelings spark an unprecedented change, not just in himself, but in the rest of the undead. Unfortunately, it's a change that attracts the bonies like sharks to blood. With these predators growing more aggressive, the zombies struggling with a newfound sense of vitality, and the humans preparing for a desperate last stand, R and Julie find themselves caught in the middle of a three-way battle for survival. I've watched a number of zombie movies over the years. What can I say? I like to see my undead brethren get their time in the spotlight. But Warm Bodies stands apart from the others, in both presentation and outcome. For starters, the story offers a rare glimpse into the zombie perspective in a ravaged world. While this approach provides a healthy dose of dark humor, it also illustrates the existential tragedy of actually being a walking corpse. Humans never have an easy time of it in these stories, but at least they have their own wits to rely on. Zombies are bereft of that, and left to merely shamble about as husks of their former selves. What passes for a psyche are nothing more than faint echoes of old memories, punctuated by brief instances of savage hunger. And zombies that linger too long lose even that, and turn into mindless, ravenous predators. R may stand out due to his heightened intellect, but even he's only marginally more cognizant than the other undead. And that's what makes his relationship with Julie so important here. The interaction between the two is endearing enough on its own, but it's the effect it has on the zombies as a whole that stands out to me. The resurfacing of old memories, the recovery of physical sensations, the willingness to aid the surviving humans despite the danger it puts them in. All of these elements offer the chance for a positive outcome that's very rare for this genre. The romance may be the selling point, but it's the promise of hope and redemption that makes this movie special. And I love a good redemption story. Warm Bodies is easy to find in the usual formats, DVD, Blu-ray, and the like, and easy to acquire at reasonable prices, and I suggest that you do. The endearing romance, dark humor, and themes of recovery make this a shelf-worthy tale, not just for date night, but for all those times when you need something uplifting. And in this lonely vault, I need all the lifting up I can get. Thank you for joining me in this brief look into the archives of my vault. If this story interests you, please feel free to like this video, and to comment on what you enjoy about it. And if you would be kind enough to share this video, it will not only help my channel to grow, which I appreciate, but it will bring more attention to these older or lesser known works.